traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to our second part trade zone video. This one's focusing on the economic outlook for this week. This is probably the last true trading week of the year. Then we will move into that pretty low liquidity week between Christmas and New Year's, and then generally the first week of New Year's as well can be a little bit light in liquidity as well. So it's not to say there's still not opportunities and news coming through, but yeah, so definitely there can be some crazier moves during that period if there's anything really wild coming out, as liquidity can be a little bit lower than other times in the year. So starting out today, we don't have any high impact news coming in, I think, and then the key for the week will be tomorrow, and that's going to be the Bank of Japan. So we start with the RBA meeting minutes, and then we have the Bank of Japan policy statement, interest rate decision, and press conference. So the policy statement is probably the key. Rates are expected to be held at minus 0.10%. And I think what everyone will be looking at is really the policy statement and what happens with their outlook and how they're seeing their bond buying at the moment, and will we see any news on that or adjustments. There was a bit of a swing in the yen around a week and a bit ago, and we are wondering now if we will see them settle down, as we have seen sort of not so, the dollar has definitely settled down to the yen in recent times, and we will just continue to see if the Bank of Japan do just sort of keep their hand on the wheel and keep it steady, or will we see any surprises, and could that in turn set up some really volatile swings that we have seen previously in the yen. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that tomorrow. Now moving into Wednesday, we have a few things coming out from Canada. So it's mainly CPI data coming out. It's the median, trimmed, and the common, plus the CPI month on month. And if you're trading the Canadian dollar or keeping an eye on their economy, traders will be looking to see how things are going there, especially with the year on year, and if that's going to guide the central bank. So they are looking for a bit of a reduction as well on the year on year. So moving along, we have some data coming out from the UK, and it is CPI as well. So they're looking for a reduction down to 4.4%, and that would be, and the core to come down to 5.6%. So traders will be keeping an eye on that one. Now, if that does come into play, that could then set the pound on a bit of a weaker move, depending on if it does come in as expected or lower. But it definitely will be continuing to say that maybe the Bank of England is going to continue to hold rates for the time being. If that CPI data does continue to move as expected, if it did come in lower than expected, could that then also set up some ideas that they could see a rate cut in time to come. Now moving on, we have not too much this week. It's not going to, I doubt it's going to be as wild as the last 2 weeks that we have seen. So Thursday is a quiet day, and then moving on to Friday, we have GDP, final GDP coming out of the US, and then we have retail sales coming out from the UK, GDP coming out from the UK as well, and traders will be looking at that just to see how, especially on the retail sales side, just to see how things are tracking in that area in the UK. If we do see any surprises there, that could also counter out, put a little bit, not pressure, but also counter out some of lower CPI data that came through. Canadian GDP as well is coming out to end the week on Saturday, and we also have the core PCE Price Index coming out as well, so that's inflationary, and that's going to affect the US dollar. They're looking for it to be it's the same as the last data, 0.2%, and then really to end the week, we have revised UAM consumer sentiment coming out as well from the US. So it definitely isn't a very busy week like we just saw last week. Volatility wise, it might not be the same as the last 2 weeks, but there's still the Bank of Japan to come out tomorrow, and that's definitely going to be the key one to keep an eye on. So it doesn't have a release date, time. It's always marked as tentative, so just keep an eye on that. It's possibly usually a bit of a guideline. Can be really just after after 12 and between 3:30 kind of 4. So we'll see when that does hit the market if there's any big surprises coming in as well. So that's it for this update. Have a fantastic trading week. Thank you very much for checking out this update, and we wish you all the best with your trading. Thanks and bye for now.